Welcome back to the Bear Down Podcast on NCAA Football 14, guys, a.k.a. College Football Revamp. And our Black Bears, sitting at 9-1 on the season, now ranked number 5, have the toughest game ahead of them. But we're going to look back today at the week that was, the 2 games we played, and get ready for a top 10 matchup. It's going to be a crazy week, man. Game day is going to be down in Tuscaloosa for this one. It's number 5 versus number 10. But first, let's look back. We start things off, man. We finally got things going against Mississippi State, blowing them out the water 42-20. This was probably one of our first complete games that we've had as a squad this season. As you can see, 14 in the first and the second, 7 in the third, and 7 in the fourth. And Gabe had himself a day, 26 of 33 for 395, 3 touchdowns. He did have 1 interception. On the ground, Corey Green continues his 100-yard streak, 17 carries for 108 and 2 scores. Gabe Perez even had a rushing touchdown, but as you can see, the negative yards, that means he was sacked a couple of times. But this wide receiving group stepped up big time this week. Ashton Ryan led the way, 9 catches, 154 yards and a touchdown. Mike Warren, 7 catches, 139. And then you had Albert Flowers, 6 catches, 52 yards and a score. Foreman had 2 for 28. Luke Baker, 1 catch, 13 yards and a touchdown. Corey Green had 1 catch for 9 yards. Defensively, Chris Johnson, the captain, 14 tackles, 2 TFLs, and 2 sacks. Donnell Swan, 10 tackles. You had Thomas with 9 tackles. You had Robinson with 6. Turner, Smith, and Smith each with 4. Lumpkin had 3, and Forwarda had 2. 4 sacks in all. Alston had a sack. Then you've got Trey Turner with the sack, and then Chris Johnson with the 2 sacks. And Smith had the interception, man. Just a great showing by our Black Bears in this game. As you can see, first downs were even. Total offense was just about even. We outgained them 485 to 433. They outrushed us 184 yards to 90. The only reason why we have those 90 yards and not more is because of the sacks that we gave up. We outthrew them 395 to 249. We were perfect on third down while holding them to 9 of 14. Perfect inside the red zone, forced 2 turnovers, and outgained them 615 to 433. Big win for our Black Bears. That moved them to 8-1. Then it was rivalry week, the Battle of the Natural State taking on Arkansas State. And this was closer than what a lot of people thought, man. 49-35 was the final. We went into the half up 28-21 and was able to pull away in the fourth quarter. If you really look at it, man, the touchdowns in the first and the third are what gave us the win. Another 300-plus yard game for Gabe Perez, 26 of 37, 376, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. The ground game, Corey Green, a monster day against the rivals, 23 for 150 and 4 scores. Out wide, Ashton Ryan continues to have a big season, 10 catches, 178 and 3 touchdowns. Dominic Foreman, 5 for 53. Mike Warren had 5 for 91. Albert Flowers, 3 for 41. And then you had Corey Green, 1 for 13. Defensively, Anthony Robinson led the way with 9 tackles this week. Johnson had 7. He had 2 TFLs as well. Swan with 5, Lumpkin had 4, Carey had 4, so did Jake Payne. Forwarda had 3, and Trey Turner, Smith, each with 3. In all, 5 sacks. Trey Turner led the way with 2. Jake Payne had 1, Carey had 1, and so did Donnell Swan. And we had the 1 interception from Smith. Now, this game, man, was so much closer than what I thought it was going to be. I thought this might have been a blowout for our Bears. We did get more first downs than they did, and we barely outgained them by 5 yards. They outrushed us 202 to 168. We outthrew them 376 to 337. 8 of 9 on third down. We're getting better on third down. I like to see that, man. But A-State was 10 of 14. Inside the red zone, we did a great job. Perfect inside the red zone, 7-7, holding the Red Wolves to 2 of 3. In all, we held them to 539 total yards while we had 692. That moved us to 9-1. And as soon as we got done with this game, we went and checked the polls and had a surprise. We see that Alabama actually took an L. So now Texas is your number 1 team, followed by Air Force, Washington is in at 3, and we are sitting at 4. Michigan is 5, Florida State is 6, USC is 7, Notre Dame is 8, Maryland is 9, and Bama fell all the way to 10. You got Missouri in at 11, Michigan State is 12, Georgia 13, Iowa is 14, Clemson 15, Mississippi State is 16. You got Wisconsin in at 17, Georgia Tech is 18, Ohio State is 19, Tulane is 20, Southern Miss 21, West Virginia is 22. Texas A&M falls 9 spots to 23. You've got Auburn in at 24, and then Utah rounds out your top 25. But let's go back to the top, man. We're gonna need some help, and I'm kind of sad because I felt like if we would have played Bama while they were number 2 and we won that game, there's no way they don't put us as the number 2 team or even in the top 3, right behind Air Force. So Texas has Baylor up next, and then Air Force has San Jose State. Air Force is playing out of their minds right now, 10-0 on the season. Let's see who they have. They got San Jose State, who's 3-7, and Wyoming, that's 4-6. That's tough. That's not even like a school like we can worry about them losing the game. Baylor, Oklahoma State left for Texas on their schedule. And Washington is in at 3. They have Oregon and Washington State left on their schedule. Now, Washington could lose a game. The Washington State game is a rivalry game, and Oregon is actually pretty good. Their record doesn't show that. So we would need one of these. We need 2 of these 3 teams to lose, basically. With Alabama losing, that kind of messes things up for us. That's tough. That's a tough way to go into like the last few weeks of the season. We needed that. We needed Alabama to beat Mississippi State. That way, when we played them, we beat them, we would be able to creep into the top 3. Taking a look at the stats, Gabe Perez, 3,630 yards, 28 touchdowns with 10 interceptions. He has been sacked 18 times. I'll say this, Gabe is having a solid senior campaign, man. I was shocked that he came back for his senior year. Happy that he is back because I think our team would have been way worse off if he wasn't here. I'm just concerned that, our offensive line isn't keeping him upright. He's still averaging 363 yards per game. On the ground, Corey Green continues his monster sophomore season, 214 carries for 1,352 yards with 26 rushing touchdowns. Brandon Bain has kind of fallen behind as far as playing time goes. 47 carries, 177, 5 scores. Mitchell, the backup, 5 for 30. Gabe has 27 yards rushing and a touchdown. I would love to see Torian Jack get a few more touches, but I feel like he is just an average running back. Corey Green is the man for our running game. Out wide, 2 wide receivers go over 1,000 yards. Mike Warren, 64 catches for 1,022 yards and 5 scores. You got Ashton Ryan, 60 catches for 1,108 and 12 scores. Albert Flowers, 43 catches, 594 and 5 scores. Dominic Foreman, 28 catches, 422 and 3 touchdowns. Kyle Holloway, 12 for 215 and a score. And then Luke Baker, 11 for 113 and 2 scores. This is interesting. Let's see who's giving up the most sacks. Our right guard, Tyrone McMillan, and our right tackle, Alfred Robinson. Sowell is giving up a sack, and so is Bracken. What's Bracken? Defense side of the ball, we go. Chris Johnson on the verge of having 100 tackles so far this season. He's got 90 with 21 TFLs. Jonathan Thomas, the free safety, 63 tackles. Donnell Swan with 45. You got Brian Smith at corner with 48. You've got Anthony Robinson with 45. Jake Payne with 31. You've got Jeff Lumpkin with 28. Morris has 24. Forwarder with 24. Turner with 21. Kyle Wright has 17. Kevin Smith has 15. Ryan Austin with 12. And Chase Carey with 12. QB pressure department finally getting things going a little bit with the quarterback sacks and bringing the pressure. Trey Turner has 5. Leon Hester with 4. You've got Wilson, Browning, Swan, and Johnson each with 3. Austin has 2. Carey and Payne each with 1. Turnover department, Jonathan Thomas has 3 picks. Donnell Swan and Brian Smith each with 2. Jake Payne, Holland, Lumpkin, Smith, Johnson, Forwarda, Robinson, each with 1. We forced 4 fumbles so far. Browning, Johnson, and Smith and Hester each have 1. 2 recoveries from Robinson and Payne. Let's look at defensive touchdowns. Only 3 defensive touchdowns this year for Warda, Swan, and Thomas. Freshman kicker Dustin Wood having a great year, 7-7 with a log of 49, and he's perfect on extra points. Punt game, Ryan Barnes, 9 punts for 406 yards. Kickoff return, Jake Payne, 49 for almost 1,500 yards and a touchdown. And then punt return, he's got 9 for 79. Taking a look at the QB passing yards, Gabe Perez leading the country with 3,630, followed by Southern Miss's Matthews with 2675. Johnson from Tulane, 2648. Flanagan from Michigan State, 2557. And Richardson from Clemson, 2544. On the ground, Schneider from Missouri, 1,383 yards, leading the country in rushing yards, followed by Corey Green, 1,352. Enzo is third on this list, 1,274. You got Morris from Arizona with 1,263, and Tillman from Cincinnati, 1,258. Out wide, Ashton Ryan leading the country in receiving yards, 1,108 yards, followed by Foreman from Louisiana Tech, 1,092. Moss from Purdue has 1,063. Mike Warren is fourth on this list with 1,022, and then Pitts from Southern Miss with 944. Tackle department, we've got a lot of Black Bears on this list. Chris Johnson leads the way with 90, followed by Jonathan Thomas with 63. Brian Smith has 48. Barnett from North Carolina with 47, and Donnell Swan has 45. QB pressure department, Owen from Buffalo has 10.5 sacks, followed by Hodge from Miami of Ohio. He also has 10.5. Payne from Fresno State has 9.5. So does Mullins and Minor from Marshall and FIU. And then there's Trey Turner down there at 55th with 5 sacks. Interception department, Brown from Arkansas with 5 interceptions. Gorman from USC has 5 as well. So does Richardson from Indiana. Gilbert from Louisiana Tech has 4. So does Jackson from FSU. And then you got Jonathan Thomas from the Black Bears, 57th with 3. So a couple of good games this week, man, and you already know our Black Bears showed out with some big plays. Time to take a look at your top 5 plays from this past week, kicking things off with number 5. Another draw. There you go. Oh, fumble. Pick it up. Come on. Get out of there. Turn the corner. Get up. Stay up. Come on. Let's go, baby. Great job, defense. Great job forcing the fumble, scooping it up. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about with these turnovers. Here's number 4. Defense, 1 stop. Pass again. Angle route. We're here for it. And we pick it off. Come on, B. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Brian. Let's go. Number 3. 1st and 10. Ball out past midfield. 3 wide. I've never seen that formation before. Woo! Chris Johnson just helicoptered this man. What? Number 2. 1st and 10. Pass. Everything's deep. Sit. Oh, let's go, Smith. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the top play from this week goes to. Come on, man. We got to get a tutty here. Or at least get close. Or at least get close. Or get in there. Or get in there. Ashton Ryan to the house. Touchdown, Bears. So it's time to hit the recruiting trail. We do add a couple of new players to this class. Michael Barber, the athlete from Alaska, 5'11", 194. I believe we talked about him before, man. 88 speed, 86 agility, 90 acceleration. He is a running back or a wide receiver, safety combo kind of guy. I could see him playing in the backfield. He is 5'11", 194. You got Chris Lumpkin at free safety from Louisiana, 6'2", 203. Kind of a project safety for us, 84 speed, 89 agility, 84 acceleration. Could play a little nickel linebacker for us with the 70 tackle and 70 hit power, 76 press as well. The big get this week was Edward O'Connor, the 13th ranked athlete in this class, 5-star prospect, 6'2", 205. 98 speed, 90 agility, 93 acceleration. Could be a wide receiver with 77 catch, 90 spec catch, 64 catch in traffic, and 83 route running. Could also play running back. He does not have the skills to really play corner for us, but at 6'2", 205, he could be a dangerous weapon in the passing game. So the recruiting board changes just a little bit. Aaron Thomas moves up to the number 1 player on our board from Round Rock, Texas, the number 5 outside linebacker. And he's got the Black Bears as his number 1 team over Bama, Nebraska, Michigan, and Texas. Then there's Bo Moore from Oklahoma, 5'11", 239, 4-star prospect, the number 3 middle linebacker. He's got the Black Bears number 1 over Wyoming, Nebraska, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma State. The number 5 wide receiver in this class is Jacob Cox, and he is falling in love with the Black Bears. The 6'1", 195 wideout from Ohio has us above Alabama, Louisville, Notre Dame, and Georgia. Looking to add a couple people to the secondary. This is James Ware from California, 6'2", 185, the number 85 ranked corner in this class, 3-star prospect. And we've got a huge lead for him, 89 speed, 75 agility, 83 acceleration. Solid man coverage, zone coverage, and press needs some work. He's more of a project corner for us. Then there's Dennis Harris from Nebraska, 6 foot, 190, 3-star prospect, the number 17 ranked corner in this class. And we've got a lead over Oklahoma, Pitt, Ohio State, and Miami. And this kid, man, 91 speed, 90 agility, 95 acceleration, great man coverage and zone coverage. He could be a solid player for us in the future. Bears looking to add more depth at that running back position. Here's Buster Patterson, 5'11", 178, 4-star prospect from Arizona, the number 21 ranked running back in this class. 90 speed, 80 agility, 86 acceleration, great elusiveness, solid juke move. The carrying is a concern. He does have a habit of fumbling, but it's hard to teach speed, though. 90 speed is very nice. Another wide receiver to keep your eye on is Dante Carter from North Carolina, 6 foot, 178, the number 50 ranked wide receiver in this class, 4-star prospect. And we've got a lead over Pitt, Alabama, Penn State, and Georgia Tech. He comes in with 95 speed, 89 acceleration. The hands are a concern, though. He's a great route runner, and he can catch in traffic and great release, but his hands are a concern. He could be a candidate for the red shirt. That way he can learn an extra year. And then to the defense side of the ball we go. Here's another defensive end, Michael Wright from Waterbury, Connecticut, 5'11", 258. The number 18th ranked defensive end in this class. Great speed, 76, 78 acceleration. Strength is at a 77 as well. Solid power move, finesse, block shedding. Just a solid defensive end all around. Then you've got Steve Lawrence from Georgia, 6'2", 234. He's a 3-star prospect. We've got a lead over SC, Michigan, Texas A&M, and Washington, and we loved his speed. He really showed out on tape, 86 speed, 75 strength. Tackling is okay. Not that great hit power, but he can get off of blocks. Again, we're just looking for more depth in that secondary. This is Ray Bonds from New York, 5'10", 175. He's a 3-star prospect. We got a lead over Texas, Michigan, Ohio State, and Nebraska. And again, 92 speed, 86 acceleration, or 84 acceleration, 86 agility, with solid coverage traits, 76 man, 80 zone, 64 press. He's a project player too, but we want to add more depth. My biggest concern with our Black Bears is what happened to us last season, where we have a bunch of guys declare early, and then we have nobody there to play. And we've added another quarterback to this list. It's Marcus Jackson from California, 6'3", 223, a 3-star prospect. Right now we're trailing behind Colorado State, but we're ahead of San Jose State, Hawaii, and Utah State. And he's a pretty solid quarterback, 78 speed, 70 agility, 78 acceleration. I would love to see his throw power up a little bit, but he's got a pretty accurate arm. Not that elusive, but if he needs to get outside the pocket, he can. So here's a look at the top classes in the country. Right now, Washington has the number 1 recruiting class, 2 5-stars, 6 4-stars, and 4 3-stars, 12 prospects in all. Then you got Michigan with 15. Oklahoma has 17 prospects already committed. The Black Bears have 10. They're ranked 4th right now. There's Indiana with 17. They're in at 5. Illinois is 6 with 19 commits. Georgia Tech is 7 with 13. You got Notre Dame in at 8 with 10. Penn State is 9 with 15, and then USC rounds out your top 10. Fellas, we have had this game circled on our calendar since the preseason. Game day will be in the building. ESPN will be here. It's a prime time matchup. Our 5th-ranked Arkansas A&M Black Bears travel to Tuscaloosa to take on the 9-1 Alabama Crimson Tide. Now listen, last week this game had so much more meaning. Alabama was unbeaten. They were ranked 2nd in the nation. They just lost to Mississippi State, and they lost bad, 42-17. If they would have stayed undefeated and we won that game, I feel like we would be a top 3 team today. But we just got to play with the cards that were dealt. We have to win this game to go ahead and secure our spot in the SEC championship. And then we finish the season against Georgia State. We cannot come out and play slow football. We have to come out and do what we've been doing, which is fast starts, punching teams in the mouth, and building a lead. Defensively, Alabama is a scary team. Scary team. Ingram is a dual-threat quarterback, throwing for almost 2,500 yards. He's got 25 touchdowns. Concepcion is a great back, 582 and 8 scores. Hayes is a great wide receiver, 725 and 7 scores. Their defense, you already know, it's Alabama. That's what they do. We just have to come out and play Black Bears football. It's that simple. We average more points. We get more offense. But their defense is a top 35 defense. They're great against the run, really good against the pass, and they force a lot of turnovers. And that's something we cannot allow them to do. We cannot throw interceptions. We can't fumble the ball, because if we don't, it's a wrap. We can go ahead and book our tickets to the Southwest Meineke Bowl, okay? I know we can come out and beat Bama. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a dogfight. But I believe in my Bears, and I know you guys do too. And if you do, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new. Don't forget to ring that bell, join the Noti Squad, and make sure you guys check out those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Facebook, Twitter, and IG. And come through and join the Discord fan for exclusive content. And we'll talk from Tuscaloosa when game day rolls into town. Number 5 versus number 10. The Black Bears taking on the Crimson Tide. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.